Pallavi Anand and I welcome you all in a session of Biology class 7. In this very session we will learn something about the reproduction in plants. How the plants are going for the reproduction and how they are getting a new young ones. So reproduction already we have discussed in our previous video. We already know there are two types of reproduction, sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, parents or male gamete, female gametes are not required, but in a sexual reproduction, gametes are required. So in this very session, we will learn something about the sexual reproduction in flowering plant. What are the organs required for the sexual reproduction in plants? In flowering plants, we will learn this. So the sexual reproduction in flowering plant. Sexual reproduction in flowering plant is of two types. That is unicellular flower and the bisexual flower. Unisexual flower means in unisexual flower there are type of flower in which only one male organ or a female reproductive organs are present. So flower consists of either one organ is required, either male or female reproductive organ are required in a unisexual flower. In a bisexual flower, flower consisting both the male and a female reproductive organ. Bisexual flower means a type of flower in which male reproductive organ or the female reproductive organ are required. Both male and female reproductive organ are required, are the must in the bisexual flower. Next we will learn the reproductive part of flower. What are the reproductive part of the flower? All the flower contain the reproductive part, that is stamen and pistils. Stamen and pistils are the two reproductive organ, male reproductive organ and the female reproductive organ in a flower. So the male reproductive part of the flower is the stamen. That is, each stamen consists of an anther and a filament. Each stamen consists of filament and anther. Filament is a part which support the anther, and anther is a sac-like structure which contain it is a four lobe. You can see here, anther is a four lobe having four sac-like structure which contain so many pollen grains. Okay, so anther carries several pollen grains, and pollen grains produce the male gamete. Pollen grains produce the male gamete, and it is available in a anther. Okay. Next is the female reproductive part of the flower, that is pistil. The broader at the base and the taper at the top. You can see the picture. This is a female reproductive part of the flower. You can see this is a broader or wider in the bottom side because it contains ovules, and it is a tube-like structure at the top side, and this part is very sticky in nature. This is known as stigma. This part is known as stigma because this is sticky in nature. Why it is sticky? Because it can contain or it can get the pollen grain. It can attract or get the pollen grain. Though that's why this part is very sticky in nature. Next, when the stigma catch the pollen grain, it transfer through the tube and come to the ovule. Okay. Upper portion of the pistil is style, and style has its own tip or is called sticky and called stigma. Okay. Now this is the ovary. This ovary contains ovules, and ovule contains the placenta which help in the fusion, which help in the fertilization of the male gamete and the female gamete and the zygote form. Next we will learn the mechanism of the sexual reproduction. Okay, next is the mechanism of sexual reproduction in plants. What are the mechanisms followed by the plants for the sexual reproduction? That is pollination, fertilization, then formation of seed, then formation of fruit, and then germination of seed. This is the way, or this is a process or mechanism that is being followed, taken care by the plant. First is pollination. Pollination means transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma of the plant, that pollination, and that is the first mechanism of sexual reproduction, that is transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma, from the male reproductive organ to the female reproductive organ, that is the pollination. Next is fertilization. Fertilization is fusion of male and female gamete. When the stigma receive the pollen grain, it is transferred through the style in the ovary, and then it is sent to the ovule. There the male gamete and the female gamete fuse together. They fuse together and they form zygote. After that they form zygote. Okay. Now these zygote is now next is the formation of seed. Now these very zygote will convert into the seed in the ovule. These very zygote will convert into the seeds. Zygote develops into the seeds. Next is formation of fruit, that is the zygote which is converted into seeds. Here ovary that contains seeds, and that ovary will mature into the fruits. Ovary will turns into the fruits. After that the germination of seed. After that very plant, that very seed will germinate into the new plant, new individual life, new individual plant, and we will have a new baby plant with us. So this is the mechanism of sexual reproduction, how the pollination takes place, then fertilization takes place, then formation of seed takes place, then formation of fruit, and then germination of seeds, and we have a new individual plants. Okay, next topic we will learn, that is pollination. So the next topic is the pollination. What is pollination? Pollination is the transfer of pollen grain from anther of the stamen to the stigma of the pistil by air, water, insect, or by the human activities as well. This is known as pollination. What is pollination? Transfer of pollen grain from anther to anther of is the male reproductive organ of a flower, and stigma is the female reproductive organ of the flower. So the transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma by air, water and insects, and also by the human activity, that is known as pollination. In nature pollination takes place in two ways, that is self-pollination and cross-pollination. Two type of pollination is occurring in our nature, that is self-pollination and cross-pollination. What is self-pollination? Self-pollination is a type of pollination in which pollination takes place within the same flower or the two flowers of the same plant. Once again, I am repeating it. Pollination takes place in a same flower. Okay, in a same flower or two flowers of the same plant. Self-pollination, it is very obvious and very clear with the word, that is self, means swarm. In a self, in the individual thing only, in the same flower, pollination anther just give out the pollen grain and it pollen on the stigma of the same flower, or anther of the flower and the pollen from the pollen grain is fallen from the anther of the one flower to the stigma of the different flower of the same plant. So it's very clear, pollination which take place within the same. This word is very important. Same flower or between the flower of same plant. Okay. Next is the cross-pollination. Cross-pollination means pollination takes place in which the stigma anther of a different plant contain pollen grain and it is transferred to the stigma of the different plant from one place to far away from the one place to the another place. Okay, it doesn't mean one flower or the same plant two flower. No, it takes place between the flower of one plant to the flower of different plant. So between the two flower of present on the two different plants. Two flower of two different plants. So anther contain pollen grain, and that very pollen grain is transferred from the flower of one plant to the flower of another plant or different plant by another of same species. But one thing is very common, both the plants should have of same species, and this cross pollination needs some agents. Plant one anther or one flower cannot walk and go to the different flower, isn't? So they require some cross pollination, require some agents. These agents are wind, water, insect. What are these agents? These agents are wind, water and insects. Cross pollination is the transfer of pollen grain of two flower of two different plants, and they require some agent for the pollination. These agents are wind, water, insect. What are the wind? Agent of pollination. Wind means the lightweight pollen grain is transferred or carried away by the one plant to the another. As it's a windy day, so many pollen grain anther burst and give out the pollen grain, and these pollen grain carried away by the air and fall on the stigma of the different plant, and pollination takes place. And in the wind pollination, plant should not be colored. Plant no need of a strong smell, and plant not need of producing nectar. No need. These things are not required because because the pollination is taken away by the wind, and color and nectar and smell or beautiful fragrance of the flower is not at all required. These things are not required. Okay. Water. Pollination by water. Water pollinated plant should be light in weight, so that if that is light in weight, they are being carried away by the current of water. Okay. And carried away by the water current, and examples are seagrass and hydrilla plant. Okay. These plants are they get pollinated by the water pollination. Next is the insect. The pollination takes place by insect. The plant should be bright in color, beautiful flowers should be there. Then the flower should produce nectar, beautiful smells should be there. So these things are very much required in the plant, those who are pollinated by insect, because insect only attract by the nectar producing plants. Insect attract by the colorful plants, colorful flower, or insect attract by the strong smells. And some birds are also responsible for the pollination, and some human activities are also responsible for the pollination. So this is pollination, in which the transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma by air, water, wind, insects. Okay. Pollination is of two types, self-pollination and cross-pollination. Self-pollination means pollination takes place in a same flower or two flower of same plant. But cross-pollination means pollination takes place between two flower of two different plants, and cross-pollination requires some agents for pollination because they cannot perform pollination by its own. So agents of pollinations are wind, insect and water. Wind pollination is the pollination in which pollen grain is carried away by the wind, and plant should not be very strong smelling, plant should not produce nectar. These things are not at all required for the wind pollinated flower. Next is a water pollinated flower. Water pollinated flower means the pollen grains are being carried away by the water current, and these should be light in weight, and the examples are seagrass and hydrilla. Next is the insect pollinated flower. Insect pollinated flower means the pollination takes place with the help of insect. When insect was being attracted by the flower, it goes and sit on the flower. What happened? The pollen grains stick to the body of the insect, and when the same insect goes to the different plant of the same species, that very pollen grain following the stigma, stick by the stigma of the different flower of different plant, and the pollination take place. That plant get pollinated. The plant, those who are very insect pollinated flower, though that is to be required of nectar, colorful appearance, and strong smell. Hope you understand. Go through the chapter. If you have any doubt, then ask me in the comment section, and go through the chapter once again. We'll understand. Okay. Till then, bye. Take care.